Mr. Paradise? Mr. Anthony Paradise? This is your book?
Did you buy it?
Yes.
Then it belongs to you.
Oh no. A work of art is not a commodity, Mr. Paradise. It is never bought or sold. It always remains in the possession of the person who produced it. May I come in?
Yes.
Did you receive my letters?
Yes.
All three of them?
Yes.
Why didn't you answer my letters, Mr. Paradise?
I haven't yet heard the sound of Gabriel's horn.
What do you mean?
The time is not yet right for my resurrection. How did you happen to come across that little book?
Mother and I were hunting antiques in the quarter. We went in a little shop on Bourbon Street. There was a little Chinese tea table with one leg slightly shorter than the others. The antique dealer had placed this volume under the short leg to balance the table. Mother bought the table. The chauffeur carried it out to the car. This little book was left there lying on the floor. To me, there is always a little bit pathetic about the discarded book. You see, I write a little myself, poems mostly. I know what it means to put your heart on paper and have the paper lost or forgotten or used to balance the table. I stooped over to look at the book. The title had been wrapped off, the gilt lettering was gone, but I saw your name on it. Anthony Paradise. It struck my fancy, so I picked it up. I turned through the pages. Why, this is a book of poems, I said to the dealer. Is it? He said. How did you get it? Where did it come from? How long has it been lying here? Who is Anthony Paradise? The antique dealer laughed. God only knows, he said. I probably bought it up with a bunch of others, long time ago. It might have been stuck in a bookcase I bought from somebody. Stuff like that don't sell. Sometimes I used to light the fire up with. I would like to buy it, I said. How much do you want for this book? He spread his arm in a great, magnificent gesture and said, you can have it for nothing. The chauffeur came back to remind me that Mother was waiting in the car, so I hurried back out, slipping this little volume of verse in my pocketbook. We rushed off to another cocktail party. I'm home from college for the holidays. And life is a round of those things. It was more than usually dull this afternoon. I don't believe in dullness. I believe in excitement and wonder and passion. I believe in people having a storm in their heart, a great, big, furious storm that sweeps all trivialities away, like scraps of ribbons or dead leaves. I went upstairs to look at the book, which I suddenly remembered when somebody asked me how will I bring more for the 20th time. Would you believe it? To my infinite wonder, I discovered what I have been looking for exactly. A great, big, furious storm that swept those trivialities away, like scraps of ribbon or dead leaves. What do you think about that?
Are you referring to the verse in that book?
Yes.
Young lady, that book was published some 15, 20 years ago. Nobody remembers it now. It's completely forgotten.
I remember it. I sat up there in the powder room for heaven knows how long. I read it through once more, and then again, And again, it was like bells ringing inside me. Great, big, solemn cathedral bells that shook me through and through. Mother came upstairs. Good gracious, she said. Everyone think you've run away from the party. What on earth is the matter with you? Mother, I said, who is Anthony Paradise? Have you ever heard of a man named Paradise? No, she hadn't, and neither had anyone else. I went around feverishly inquiring of bookstores and libraries and all the kind of writers I know. No luck. Completely unknown. Then at last I wrote a letter to the publishing firm, and in due time I received an answer saying that Mr. Anthony Paradise, when last heard of, was living in the old French quarter of New Orleans. But that was 10 or 15 years ago, so it was feared that he might have been disappeared altogether. Speaking of miracles, what do you think of that? Here you were, right at the tips of my fingers, me in one part of the town, you in the other, 15 minutes away. At first, I thought of rushing right over without any warning. Time was so short, the holiday's nearly over. I drove over here to this address which the publisher had given to me. And I discovered that you were still in the residence here and had been here for 20 years, they told me. You weren't in that day, so I wrote you the first of the letters. I got no answer. Time came to go back to school. I pretended that I was ill. Yes, I faked a bad cold just to postpone my departure. And then I wrote you 2 more letters, which you also ignored. I won't ask you why. It doesn't matter. Then I determined that I wouldn't be snubbed. I wouldn't let you refuse to be discovered. So here I am. Here I am, Mr. Paradise. And here you are.
Here you are and here I am. Yes, indeed. What are you intending to do about it?
Oh, don't you know? Can't you guess? I'm going to give you back to the world.
Give me back to the world?
Yes, the stupid, blind, negligent world that let you slip away.
Suppose I don't want to go back. Suppose I prefer to remain in oblivion, young lady.
You can't. I won't let you. It's useless for you to resist. Don't try. Don't try, Mr. Paradise. I have already set the ball in motion.
Then stop it quickly, please.
No. I have written letters to influential people and writers that I know from the East. I have already created a big interest in you. When I leave here, you are going to live here with me.
No.
Yes, you are. You are going to live among people who appreciate genius. You are going to give readings and lectures.
Readings? To whom?
Clubs. Colleges. My college. Societies of poets.
Lectures? On what?
Art. Beauty. Poetry.
God forbid. Haven't you been reading the newspapers lately?
Why?
Today the world is interested in gunpowder. Poetry cannot compete with the sound of bursting shells. This is the time for the discovery of new weapons of destruction, not for the resurrection of neglected poets. Even if I wish to be resurrected, Gabriel has not yet blown his horn. The surest and cruelest way to destroy Anthony Paradise the poet is to exhibit Jonathan Jones, the man, or what is left of it. Don't you see that? What a grisly spectacle I would present on some college lecture platform. Look at me. You're not blind. What do you see?
The way you look doesn't matter.
Oh, yes, it does. Maybe not to you because you're young and generous. No. No, the time isn't ripe. Keep the book. Remember my name and watch the obituary column. Someday you will see the name Jonathan Jones. Then come back again and look up Mr. Anthony Paradise. That will be his time when Jones is dead. Jones is a living contradiction of Paradise. Paradise won't stand a chance to breathe until Jones has stopped breathing. Take my word for that and be satisfied.
Can't you be Anthony Paradise now? Again!
No. It's too late. I am too old. Death is the only thing that can possibly save my reputation. Go back to school, little girl. There's an end to everything, even to the supplies of gunpowder. When they're exhausted, the world will once again look under broken table legs for little volumes of forgotten verse. By that time, Jonathan Jones will be safely out of the way. The sun will shine in a clean blue sky. The wind will stir the grass on the tops of hills. Children will dig in the sand on sunny beaches. And the world will be warm and serene and as young as tomorrow. Then all the old, sweet, gentle voices will be distinguished once again. You will hear the wind in the trees and the rain on the rooftops and the songs of long-lost, forgotten poets. Guns explode, destroy, and are destroyed. But these little songs, however little and unimportant they are, they keep on singing forever. They have their times of eclipse, but they rise again. The motion of life is upwards. The motion of death is down. Only the blindest of all blind fools can fail to see which is going to be finally the highest up. Not death, but life, my dear, life. I defy them to stop it forever. Not with all their guns, not with all their destruction. We will keep on singing. Someday the air all over the earth will be full of our singing. Is that your show?
Yes.
You better leave.
Mr. Paradise,
Yes?
maybe you are right. I'm going to do what you say. Keep the book and remember your name.
And watch the obituary column.
Yes. And when the time comes, you can depend on me, Mr. Paradise.
Thank you, my dear. I shall depend on you.
I promise you I won't fail you. Your future is safe in my hands. And now won't you kiss me goodbye?
No.
Why?
No. For the same reason I wouldn't touch a pure white cloth with mud all over my fingers.
Goodbye, Mr. Paradise.